Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody. I got a couple more things to finish up, and then we'll get started into the listing input class. We'll give everyone maybe 2 or 3 minutes to jump on, and then I'll pop back on here. Okay. Good morning, Kevin, Jessica, Shannon, Randall. Hi, I'm Kara. I am going to put a listing in the system that we got documents signed on over the weekend. So it's a new listing coming on Wright Road in Athens. And if anyone wants to host an open house out there on Saturday from 2 to 4, you can let me know here in the comments, or you can text me to let me know. We do need an open house agent on Saturday. So we're going to list it at 385. It's on 6 acres and about 3,000 square feet. So let me figure out how to screen share, and then we're going to dive right into it. Let's see. All right. Can somebody confirm that you can see Paragon?
Yes.
Jessica, can you guys see Paragon?
Yeah.
Yes, I can see it. I can see it.
The computer audio.
Oop.
Where is
All right, good. Here we go. So I'm going to go up here to new listings, and I'm going to select add a residential listing. So that's the screen that it brings me to here. I've already taken a photo from my desktop into the section right here. you're always, when you put a listing into the system, you always have to start with one picture. So the photographer was out there this morning at 8:45. I won't get pictures back until tomorrow morning around the same time, 24-hour turnaround. So I'll switch this with the accurate exterior picture when I have those. But for today, the seller wants to go live today and lets us start marketing this now. So we've got a placeholder. What I want to point out is a time saver. And I used to type everything kind of manually, but if you go up into tax autofill, and when you go on a listing appointment, I always print out the tax ID or the tax assessor's sheet that shows the names on the property, the tax ID, any information from when that house was purchased. And I verify that with the people who are selling the house. And I say, hey, are these all the people that are selling the house or have interest in ownership here? And they confirm or deny. Anyways, I use that information here. So the listing that I'm putting in the system is in Limestone County. So I'm going to go Limestone County and then their last name, and we're going to see one person pops up, one house. So we're going to see if that's the right one. That's it. So 15080 Wright Road. So you click this mark over here, and this is an automatic step and a real time saver. But if you're not able to use this and you forget to use it, you can manually do everything that I'm doing. It's just a little bit of a time saver. So you're going to click autofill. It's going to ask you, which of this information do you want to autofill? Well, let's make sure the internet at the office is working. And you guys just unmute yourself if you have questions, okay? Is there anybody in the group who hasn't put a listing in the system yet?
I have not.
You have not.
I haven't.
Okay. Have you guys seen somebody do it yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So this is probably going to be a refresher. And of course, when the time comes for you guys to put one in yourself, you can just call anybody and we'll help. Okay, this may not autofill. I don't know if the internet's being funny. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm just going to go down and it clicks everything that's recommended you put in there and everything that has data inputted already. So it is 6 acres. I don't know. I did not have an appraiser measure this to confirm square footage. So I'm just going off the last listing. My sellers bought this house in 2018 and I wasn't their buyer's agent. So I'm going off of the information that was already in Paragon, which is probably what you're going to do if you have a resale. If you end up representing a builder, a new construction, you're probably going to go after the floor plans or the specs. But anyways, we're going to use all this, nothing that has a 0 in it. So we'll just take that off. Let's see, built in 1990. The zip code down at the bottom is correct. It does have taxes recorded for the previous year. Let's see. Let's go. Save. So it autofills everything. I'm going to list it for $385. It's going on the market today. It expires 6 months from yesterday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we go, because we got this signed over the weekend and had it expire 6 months from yesterday. If you ever don't know what the blank is for, you can click on these magnifying glasses and it'll tell you. Of course, the internet's going to be silly for me today. Let's see. Stand by. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be a single family with me, but if it were a single wide or a double wide, it would be a manufactured home. If it were an auction property, which most of you are probably not going to sell auction properties just yet. If it's a mini farm or a working farm or any sort of farm with a home. So for this purpose and most resale houses that you're ever going to do, unless it's commercial or multifamily, you're going to do single family detached. Status, we're going to go ahead and put it in as active today. It's for sale. Make sure you don't put for rent or people will call you and ask if it's for rent. So we're going to go down to the next thing. It is not commercially zoned. 15080 Wright Road is the address. Athens, it is not in the city limits, and this will probably be information you find on the previous listing. If it's not there, you can look on many like municipality sites or government sites and just kind of verify school district and address and all that. Municipality, none. State, Alabama, and you really, on most of your residential resales, you'll leave municipality blank. Unless it has this R for required, you can probably leave it blank. So the zip code's already in here, but you'll see for some reason when I go to save the listing, it's probably going to tell me, I have to re-put it. For some reason, Paragon is finicky, and it makes us put that in there twice. So subdivision. This is called meets and bounds, and you probably learned about this in your licensing course. Here we go. It does not have a subdivision, so there's no HOA. The lot is 0, the block is 0. If you're in a neighborhood, that's probably not going to be that. You'll probably have the subdivision name up here, and you'll have a lot number, probably no block number. I'm going to leave this lot size empty because it's 6 acres, so I don't need to have some, length and width and all that stuff of a lot size, unless it were like, a quarter of an acre, then you can put the dimensions in there if they're silly, but 6 acres. Legal description just pulled right from Paragon when I entered that tax ID, so we're going to use that. There is no first right of refusal. Does everybody know what a first right of refusal is? Okay, we're going to take that as a yes. Non-owner occupied, let's see. That would mean is there a tenant in there? Let's see. Service level, so agency. I have the exclusive right to sell. I've done RECAD, I've done the listing agreement, I have the exclusive right to sell. So that's the listing agreement. My friend Emily, who's in our office, is going to co-list this with me, so I'm going to add her. Showing instructions. So we'll go, no restrictions regarding commissions. Let's go down to code first. So if it were variable commission, like let's say typical is 6%, 3% to you as a listing agent, 3% to the buyer's agent. But let's say the seller says up front, I'll pay 6% commission, but if we get a lowball offer, I might only pay 5%, which means you have to split that up how you see fit. You would want to put in there that there are restrictions or that it's a variable rate. If there's ever a chance that the commission can vary to a buyer's agent, you need to make sure this is variable. If there's no restrictions, it's a standard 6 and will always be 3 to them no matter the price, then you'll put no restrictions. Okay, sub-agent. We don't do sub-agency in Alabama. Buyer broker and transaction broker, this means that I'm going to keep 3% as the listing agent. I'm going to offer 3% to whoever brings a buyer. And if you bring a buyer, but you're only a transaction broker and not their buyer's agent and have RECAD full agency, then I'm still going to pay you 3%. You'll see some agents put in here like 2.5% or 2% to a transaction broker. I don't mess with that. If you bring a buyer, you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid 3% whether you have agency or transaction brokerage with them. That's up to you how you want to do it. But I don't think, unless it's limited consensual dual agency, if it's a transaction broker, you're probably not going to know that they're only a transaction broker, because I don't think you actually ask people on the other side, hey, what type of agency do you have with your client? It's just not something we ask. So BF to show. So this just means what are the instructions to show the house. So there is a lockbox on the property. We do want them to use showing time. So I'm going to mark that. We're going to put notes if there's see remarks, because I'm going to put in here 24 hours advance notice to show. Notice pets. She has 2 outdoor dogs that she's removing for every showing, and we want to make sure that people are respecting that because she wants to get them out of the yard. Appointment only. Let's see. They can text us. They can text us to schedule an appointment. Actually, I'm going to take that out. I want all showing requests to go through showing time. So meaning you have to request a showing and showing time. I'll approve it through there with the seller, and you can go right to the lockbox from there. But we don't want people to call the office to show it. We don't want people to text the owner directly. I never put my seller's phone numbers in the listings. Some people do, and if the seller wants that, we would do it. But I've never had a seller say, hey, make me the point of contact. If they wanted to be the point of contact, they might ought to consider for sale by owner, and they'll be bombarded that way. So let's see, save that. Okay, agent report remarks. We're just going to use this little description for this section here. So this is what the public's going to see, and I'm going to say open house Sunday 2 to 4 p.m. and make sure you delete that when you're done, right? After Sunday comes and goes, we'll delete that. So you can have your description typed up however you see fit. In here, I'm going to say, I'm going to tell them my cell phone number because Paragon doesn't store my cell phone number. So go make sure that Paragon has your number in there. For some reason, mine doesn't. And every time I have a listing, agents will finally get a hold of me somehow, and they'll say, it was so hard to find your number. It wasn't in the listing description, or it wasn't in Paragon. And I know. So now I just put it in here. 24 hours notice required to show 2 large dogs. I think that's all we need to tell agents. Everything else will be self-explanatory when they get there. Owner's information. So I'm surprised this didn't autofill because we hit that tax ID, but let me go back into their loop real quick because we want to use their legal names, right? So we're going to use Daniel Hanchett. Oopsie. Guys, am I making you dizzy yet? Oops. What am I doing? And then Lucinda, even though she goes by Cindy to me, these are the documents that are going to come over when someone sends you a purchase offer, Heron Hanchett, and that is her legal name. So we're going to do I don't put their phone number. Is it occupied? Yes. Is it a foreclosure? No. Is it in short sale? No, it's not. Is it for lease? No, it's not. Do not call me about that. There is no homeowners association. If there was, you'd need the homeowners association's name right here. You would need their point of contact. So if it was like Burgreen Farms and Village would be the name of the homeowners association. If Kara Cunningham was the point of contact, that's who you would put there. I will never run for HOA, so don't even consider it. You'd put my phone number if I was the point of contact, how much it is per year or whatever it is. Maybe it's monthly, quarterly, yearly. You'd put that price in here. All of this information is to be verified by a purchaser. So Paragon, if you select yes here that there is an HOA, they're going to require you to have this information in there to save it. What you'll most likely do is ask your seller for that homeowner's information. If they don't know it, you'll go to the previous listing and you'll just plug and play and put what they had in there. But if you absolutely have a seller who has an HOA, but they don't know if it's active, they don't know who the point of contact is, you're just going to need to fill out something. And you can go back as many listings as it takes, or just get something in there and the legal office will figure it out, the closing office. Let's see, is it a gated community? I'm going down to all the required things. No, it's not gated. Do we want it to syndicate with IDX? Yes. Yes. Appear on the internet? Yes. If you mark no here, you're going to see your picture on Zillow, but you're not going to see an address. And everybody that calls you is going to say, where is this house located? What's the address? Again, display an address. We're going to do no. We do not want comments from third parties on our listings to be public. And we do not want our responses from public showings to go automatically to sellers. Property details. So I'm going to go off the prior listing. I never verify this unless it's like a 20-year-old home and school districts have changed and that school is no longer even a school. But we know that these schools are still here, so these are likely the schools. Now, when Madison goes over their rezoning stuff, we're probably going to have to pay closer attention to that. So I'm going to switch this to 3,000 square feet because this must be off of the old tax assessment. I don't know. I don't actually have, the basement square foot is 500, so let's just use that. I don't know the first and second level, so we'll see if that'll let me save it without putting that in there. Is there a carport? Yes. So if you click over here, it'll show you your options, okay? So in this one, we have a 2-car garage. We have an attached garage because the 2-car is attached. We have a carport. Let's see. Where is detached carport? There we go. We have a workshop. And we have an attached, let's see, front entry. We're going to use, switch to detached. There we go. Is it a water property? No, but it's really close to the river. It is not certified green. Most of your stuff probably won't be. It was 21 to 25, so let's say 21 to 25 years old. We're going to leave the taxes auto-filled. Directions, I like to just go into the previous listing and just copy and paste the directions. Unless I read it and it's not accurate, then so directions are right here, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. And I've been to the house a couple of times, so I already know that Highway 72, left on Wright Road, Yep, that's correct. So I'm going to go back into my listing and I'm just going to paste it. Would I want to do that to the listing description in here? Would I want to copy and paste that listing agent's description word for word? No, because that's plagiarizing. So don't do that. But the directions are what the directions are. So if you want to copy and paste to save a couple minutes, then I mean, I don't think anyone's going to care. Google Maps told it to you, right? Let's see. Property facts, all information to be verified by buyer's agent prior to contract. Always get something in there. If you go back into this listing, see how it says right here, all facts to be verified by purchaser. So that's just a little disclaimer in there. We don't have to do that because Alabama is a buyer beware state. So whether you put this or not, it doesn't change anything as far as CYA covering your own butt. But for some reason, listing agents still put it. So I just do what the people do when I put it in there. So all info to be verified by buyer's agent prior to contract. Room information. So there are, let's see, 10 total rooms. So this first one is how many rooms in the entire house. Then the bedrooms. There's 4 total bedrooms. Baths, 3. How many of those bathrooms are full? All 3 of them. How many are 3/4 and a half? None of them. They're all full bathrooms. Bedrooms on level 1. Bedrooms on level 2. 3. And then 0. So if you put 4 bedrooms up here, your math has to add up. Paragon will not let you save this unless your bedrooms on each level adds up to 4. This is 3 bedrooms. This has to add up to 3 bedrooms some way. And it won't let you save a listing if there's conditions to be met. Now, onto this. So unless you have an appraiser come in and measure it, or like when Adam Rocket City Photo takes pictures and he does like the floor plan thing with dimensions, you don't really have a way to know dimensions unless there's a previous listing. So I'm going to enter what's in the previous listing, and Paragon may not let me save it because if you enter like the living room here, it will not let me exit out unless I give a dimension and a description and a level. So I think I'm going to try, let me start out with master bedroom. And I want to say it's not going to let me save it with master bedroom up here. So we're going to go 19 by 13. And again, this is all buyer beware. So it's not, we want to give the most accurate representation of the house up front. We don't want to knowingly falsify information. But this says on this previous listing that it was appraiser measured. So I'm going off what that appraiser measured and just putting it in here. Now, you don't want to, if my client were like, oh, my house is 2,000 square feet, I would never want to say, well, let's market it as 3,000, right? Because if someone's going to pay $385 for it, and then the appraiser comes through and says, well, the house is only 2,000 square feet, a buyer is going to say, well, I'm paying $117 per square foot. I am due a big discount because the house is 1,000 square feet smaller. So as far as the square footage goes, you really want to make sure that's pretty accurate. You can check that through previous listings, tax IDs, appraisers that the seller may have on file, or appraisals that the seller may have on file. But as far as room dimensions, you're not probably going to get in a pickle with those unless you knowingly falsify information or put something way left field, like dimensions for not even that house. So master bedroom 19 by 13, it's on level 1. I'm going to go with ceiling fan in there because I don't know. I think it's got laminate flooring. So we'll say laminate flooring in there. Room number 2, we're just going to do bedroom 2. Room number 3, bedroom 3. Room number 4, bedroom 4. These are all on level 2. So I'm just going to go plug and play level 2. Again, if you put a room in here, you have to have the dimensions and some sort of description. Okay. It will not let you save it without. 12 by 12, going off the old listing. Let's see, 12 by 11. Anyone have any questions? Just unmute yourself if you have any questions or if you've come across any problems while doing input so far. Let's see. Description, wood floor, and wood floor. I think it's not going to let me save that. For some reason, I think room number 1 cannot be the master. So if it can't, we'll adjust. None of this stuff is required. But when you get down to here to like rooms 6 and 7, if you've got a big house and you've got fancy things like a butler's pantry or a sitting room and a living room or a study and a living room and a family room, you're going to want to make sure you get those neat things in here because you want the internet to show all of the upselling items. So if you've got a butler's pantry, I would encourage you to put that in here. So I don't know, yeah, butler's pantry. So it comes up, okay? All of this stuff you can find out on listing appointments too. Let's see. Whirlpool. Yes, there is a whirlpool tub. It is separate shower. Auction details. There are no auction details. You cannot buy it in an auction right now, okay? Features. So features plugs and play from stuff I've already been putting in there. It is a 2-story house. The construction of it is vinyl. It is basement and crawl space. I want to say it's on septic, so let's see, public water and septic. Heat is central to unit. Same. So, unmute yourself if you don't have some sort of form that you already use to go on listing appointments that you give to a seller and say, here, please fill this out to the best of your ability and the best of your knowledge. And a lot of that form should have questions like this, like telling you about their house, because when you go to input it, it's kind of annoying to you and probably to them when you're having to text them 4 and 5 times at 9 o'clock at night. Hey, is it a crawl space or is it slab? So does anybody not have a form that they love that they take on listing appointments? There's one in seller documents that it talks about property information. That's not really as inclusive as I'd like it to be. So I have one that I use myself. If you want the one I have, you can leave a comment in the Zoom.
I'll take one.
I will take one too. This is Kim. Thank you.
Hey, Kim, you want one? Okay.
And then Jessica as well.
Okay. I'll send you guys mine. Randall, do you want one too?
Shannon and Kevin want one too, please. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll have Sarah send it out to the whole entire office, or all of you guys on. But I'll send it to you in the editable version, so you can edit it how you want and put your name on top. And if it's missing stuff that you think you may want on there, just add it, okay? And again, there's one in Dotloop that you can use, but it's pretty outdated. It has the old logo on it, and I don't really feel like it has all of the things in there that I'd like it to have. I don't know. Let's see. Fireplace. It has one. So appliances. If you know your refrigerator is going to stay, put it in here. But if it's not going to stay, don't put it in here. So when you go on listing appointments, make sure you ask your sellers, what appliances are you planning on leaving? So microwave is staying here. The range and oven is built in, so that's staying. So it's pretty unique that a washer, dryer, and refrigerator all convey. This seller has said, I can't move it. It's all brand new. If they want it, it stays with the house. So you guys keep that in mind. So I'm putting that in here. But just make sure that's correct, because if you put that the refrigerator conveys and then a buyer comes through and gets the refrigerator, or closing comes around and the refrigerator is removed, and they say, well, hey, in Paragon, it says refrigerator remains. So we never asked for it in our contract because it clearly says in your notes that the refrigerator stays. You're going to be going to buy $1,000, $1,500 refrigerator for the buyers as a welcome home gift because you misinterpreted what stays and what doesn't. So please be clear on that. This is what houses or what type of financing can work with the home. Conventional cash, we know those work. FHA. So you should know, or you should get to be familiar with, and if you're not, reach out to a lender and start getting familiar with what sort of homes qualify for FHA loans and VA loans and USDA loans. USDA, let's see, rural development. USDA, a lot of it has to do with location. So it has to be in a rural location. Does everybody have the website you go to check that? I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So if you go here,
We don't
I
have.
think type in this address. So if you just type in USDA eligibility map, so accept, let's type it in there and make sure it does. You know, based on the zip code, it may not, but I feel like it probably will. So let's just see. 15080, 35611, let's see. So yes, this address is located in an eligible area. So you can go back in there and say that it qualifies for rural development. Again, it's a buyer's agent responsibility to confirm that, but you don't want to market a house that it qualifies for an RD loan if it doesn't, right? Because you're going to attract buyers that aren't qualified, and who wants to waste their seller with that? So if I enter, let's see, if I enter the office's address, you can see that we don't qualify for that. So you just need to familiarize yourself with listings. See, we're not in an eligible area. Lenders will give you this answer if you get confused on how to confirm that. But so I know that this house can sell conventionally, RD, cash, always, right? And then FHA and VA. So this house, it does need some TLC, not necessarily the structural integrity or safety like that, but like cosmetic stuff. It's probably not what I would want in a home like this, or maybe a lot of buyers, but it's not got a lot of repairs required and not a lot of chipping and peeling paint. So it will go as FHA or VA. If you've got a house sold as is that needs a ton of repairs, or it's a flip house and needs a ton of repairs, it's probably not going to go VA, FHA, or USDA, okay? Keep that in mind. There is no fence. We're just going to leave that. I'm going to leave that off. But if you had a chain link fence, you put chain link. If you had a privacy fence, you put that. Documents on file, I don't have a survey or anything like that. I don't have a virtual tour. If you had a virtual tour, you would put it in here. So does anybody have any listings coming up? If you do, let me know, and I'll tell you how to get a virtual tour. And we'll help you get that in there. Kind of valuable during COVID times, right? So we're going to leave this blank. So let me see if I can save it. If I had extra pictures, which I will tomorrow, I'd go over here and add pictures, but let's see what it tells me, okay? So please be sure your list, so it's always going to tell you this. It's always going to say, please make sure your dates are accurate. Okay, room 1 must be living, great room, or family. So we're going to go back to that. We're just going to do living room. Let's do 20 by, it's big, so we'll just do that. And then we'll go back down here to master. I had a feeling it was going to do that. Oops, master is 19 by 13. Level 1, laminate, ceiling. Okay. Let's see. So square footage source. We're going to go appraiser measured because that's what it says on the prior listing. See, it won't let you save a listing if you've royally messed it up, okay? And I've never once had a listing that says, congratulations, everything's great because you did it perfectly. Because this first one always pops up. So you're always going to have some sort of alert. So I'm just going to go back up, just make sure I've got it for 385. We're going to save it. Let's see. Did we do it? Okay, so we've got it. We're saved. So this is just reminding you a couple things you need to do. I'll go in and add photos, or Emily will go in and add photos probably tomorrow when we get them. Is your lockbox out, and is your lockbox set up how you want it? So if my seller already told me, hey, every day from 1 to 2, I can't show the house because I've got a sleeping baby and they nap from 1 to 2. It's a short nap, so wish them well if that's the case. But at any rate, if you know there's blackout times every day, go into showing time and update that so you're not getting showing requests. So this is a couple bullet point reminders for you. So we're gonna, I'm gonna click finish, but let me show you something. I already know there's gonna be an open house on Sunday, okay? So I'm gonna go into maintain listings, because now I have an active listing. I'm going to select an action to the right. If you have an open house on your listing, you have got to put this in there if you want open house to show on like Valley MLS website or syndicate with like Trulia, Realtor.com, Zillow. You've got to put this in there, or people searching on the web are not going to see that it has an open house. Now, I put it in the notes so you can read that, but you want it to show up in all streams possible. So add, edit, open house. April's going to do it on Sunday from 2 to 4. It may be live streamed. If she goes live stream on Facebook, she'll put her link here or she'll send it to me. But I'm going to go into Sunday the 30th, 2 to 4 p.m. And I'm going to put some notes in here because I like to just be able to look back on my listings and give clear, concise updates to my sellers. So I'm just going to know April's hosting. So if my seller, when I give my update on Tuesday, because I update all my sellers on Tuesdays, when I reach out and I give her the update, she's going to know April hosted it. All this update is, all this information is coming right from April. Okay, back up. Let's see. So we should be saved. Let's see. It's going to probably say nothing to save. Okay, good. So there's our MLS number. As soon as you guys finish your listing, you're going to want to go into the listing and you're going to want to just, let's see. Give me 1 second. This is not the quickest way to do that, but view detailed report. So you're going to want to save a detailed report because when you go into command, you have to submit every time the status changes. So if the price changes or a new listing or you go under contract. You have got to provide this in command. So I just do that. I go back in a dot loop. We're going to add document. It's got it in there. Then you have everything. So all of our listing docs are in here. Everything's signed, property information. This is the sheet I was telling you about that you could take on your listing appointments and kind of have the seller like fill out. So when Emily sent these documents across to the sellers, she gave them filling capability. They could fill and edit. So they left a lot of that blank. But really, ideally, if you were going on a listing appointment in person, you would take this with you and you'd say, hey, I'm going to have a couple minutes to look around the house because I really like to look at the house through the eyes of what a buyer would see. If you'll do me a favor, sit right here at the dining room table, fill this out to the best of your ability, and then when I get back, we'll chat about it. So then you have that, them to work on, you to look around the house, kind of a conversation starter, and then you use that as a roadmap as you're going through your listing appointment. And then when you go to do listing input, hopefully you have all of the stuff necessary. Okay, who's still on? Randall, Shannon, Jessica, Kimberly, Jamisa. Any questions? You guys have any questions for me? I hope that was helpful. I actually don't think I recorded that. What you got, Jessica?
Oh, nothing. I was just going to say thank you. And it was helpful.
Okay, good. You're welcome. Do you have a listing coming up?
No, not yet.
Okay. Does anybody want help with a listing coming up? Because I would love to help you guys earn some listings. Nobody wants to earn a listing?
I mean, I'd love to earn
Hi
one.
there.
Hey, Kimberly.
Hey, I'm sorry. Can you go back to the listing documents one more time?
Yeah.
I wasn't able to I was going to snap a picture and my daughter had my phone.
Okay, so are you talking about you want to see all the documents in a listing?
For dot loop, yes, the ones you use.
Okay. So do you see that?
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay,
not a picture, but let me show you two. Did you get the picture?
I did. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So when you create your first loop, Stephanie's made it pretty easy to where if you, let's say, I'm going to go ahead and do 50. I'll just do the office just to pretend. But when you go do the office or whatever listing, it's going to ask you to select a loop template. So if it's a listing with no lead paint, which means it was built after a certain year, which you guys probably remember that from your course, you're just going to select that if it's a listing. And you don't have to upload a photo. I mean, you could if you wanted. Let's see. We'll just skip it. I never do. It depends on how organized you are. But here you go. So listing for sale, status, we'll say active listing. We're going to list it at $500,000 and then view loop. And when you go into that, if you select listing template, it has all the documents you need already. Okay. All you've got to do is add your folks down here who are going to be in the loop. You just add them in here. And then, so let's just say I add Lisa Gregory. She's the seller. When I go back up into here and I go to, this is all out of order. I arrange this differently because I like to have my, well, goodness gracious, where's exclusive right to sell? We're going to add that in here. You guys hop off if you need to. I'll let Stephanie know that that's not in here as an auto template right now. But anyways, if you've added your clients to the bottom, when you go click into the template, it's going to automatically fill in the address and their names. All you're going to have to do is add like the little details, like selling price and stuff. So I'm the listing agent. It's got the address already. Let's see, occupancy date at closing. Make sure it is at closing. So list price. We'll do listing, what's today? 08/25/2000. I should know that. It's my niece's 5th birthday. So we're gonna do 500,000. Anyways, you can fill out as much or as little as you want. See, then it kind of autofills. But anyways, I just say that to say when you go in to do your first listing loop, if you select that listing loop template, it's gonna put in all the documents that you need. So you won't be able to forget anything, okay?
Okay, thank you. Because, yeah, I've never done a listing yet. So,
Well, let's get you a listing. Let's get a listing. Okay. I think that's it for right now. If that was helpful, you guys let Sarah or Stephanie or leadership know, and we'll do more if you guys have listing needs or anything like that. But if there's ever a training that we're not covering or that you want more of, just let us know and we'll add it. Everyone good?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, make it a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a question before you go.
What's that?
This is Kevin. I came in a little bit later because I had
Hey.
something I was doing. I wanted to know if this was being recorded because or I wanted to see if I can get this, the rest of this. I mean, because I missed the beginning.
Sure. So I forgot to record it, but if we don't have one already on the Keller Williams YouTube site, I'll record one and I'll text you when it's in there so you can just use it as a resource anytime you need it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we'll get one in there.
Could you also text me, because I would love to watch it again, because it was
Yeah.
kind of going kind of fast. So
Did I go too fast? I talk really fast.
yeah, I was trying to like take notes and take pictures at the same time because it was a little bit quick, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll do one. I'll put it in YouTube and I'll talk really slow. See, I'm from Florida, so we talk and we just throw it all out there at once. But yeah, I'll get it on there and have admin text everyone when it's up so you guys can use it as a resource.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye guys. Thank you for playing with me.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye, you too.